welcome to this episode of Thai Food. On this episode I'm going to make tomatoes confit. So you're going to want about a dozen Roma tomatoes. I got a baggie full here. I don't have an exact count. And that one's got a little bad spot on it. I'm going to trim off. Been saving these for a little bit, so. But you want to just take these and slice them in half. Real simple preparation for the tomatoes. And it don't matter if they're big, small, whatever. They're all going to cook up just about the same. So, I want about a dozen of these cut in half. And you're going to want a really good extra virgin olive oil for this as well. If you happen to have any of the roasted garlic oil from when you roasted your own garlic like I do, that lends itself very well to this recipe. And basically confit, you're just going to roast in fat. That's all confit means. So we're going to roast these in olive oil. Basically coated with olive oil. There we are. That should be about a dozen. And you want a 1/4 cup of oil to pour over these. And like I said, I got my roasted garlic oil that I had left over from when I roasted my own garlic. I'm just going to put it in this bowl here. 1/4 cup. Pour it right over them. There we are. And you know me, I like to try to get every last little drop out. Set this off to the side. Get myself a spatula. Because we're going to have to toss these here. Good enough. And to this I've got some ground pepper. I use a peppercorn medley, and that's 1/2 teaspoon. That's a full teaspoon of pepper there. And you can use more or less depending on what you like. And then we got some ground thyme, and I'm going to use about 1/2 teaspoon of ground thyme. There we are. And then we want some salt on these as well. Help flavor them and draw some moisture out as you're cooking. I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There we are. And then the other thing we want is some garlic. And I've got a really big clove and a kind of medium-sized clove, and we're just going to mince these up fresh. And then we're going to toss it in there and toss everything together in the oil. This is a nice little contraption. It's a I believe it's pronounced Izuku knife. And I got this as a gift from my mother when her and my father went to Alaska. And she had something similar to this when I was growing up in a wooden bowl. And this is more of a block that's been bowled out. But she had like an actual wooden bowl for hers. And used to use it to chop stuff up as I was growing up as a little kid. Helps dice up garlic really quick. Try to keep it all in one spot. Make sure you get all the big chunks off that build up. I gotta be really careful because I know this knife is sharp. Anybody who knows my sister, you can ask her how she knows it's sharp. She almost took her finger off with it. Not this particular knife, she got one too, but I think I've only cut myself once and it wasn't too bad with this. I usually try to keep my hands out of the way. So we want to get this chopped up pretty fine, but it doesn't have to be like super fine. We're not trying to make a paste here. Go ahead and start tossing it in there. There we are. Use my spatula and scrape it down in. Alright. And we're just gonna, like I said, give this a toss to coat with everything. Try to mix all the seasonings around, get everything coated really good. And of course, you're going to want to preheat your oven to about 300 degrees because that's what we're going to bake these at for the confit. Looks like I got a bunch of extra oil in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and slice some more tomatoes and add to this. That way there I can try to use up some of that oil that's still in the bottom there. Get everything coated. We like these a lot, so some extras ain't no big deal. You can make as many or as little as you want. Just adjust your recipe accordingly and you'll be good to go. No sense in leaving one tomato there. Go. And what you can do with these after they're done is you can put them on a bruschetta or a piece of nice, really crunchy, toasty Italian bread, or even on top of garlic bread for that matter. They go really good on there. We eat them straight up here. We like them just fresh right out of the oven. And gonna top them off with some Parmesan Romano cheese that's already grated when they come out, and they're good just like that. Make some room here, and this is what we're gonna bake them on. So I got a half sheet cookie sheet here and a wire rack, and we're just gonna put these on there. You want them cut side facing up, like so. And this part is a bit time consuming. You probably could just dump it on there, but if there's any excess oil, I want to kind of drizzle it over top of each one as best as I can. So that's kind of why I'm doing it this way, because I know there's going to be a little extra oil. Get all them bits of garlic all over and the oil that's got the garlic in it as well. This is a really good savory dish, in my opinion. I may have too many tomatoes and not enough room, but we'll make room, because they will shrink down while they're cooking. So we will get them all on here. Pile them all up next to each other. It's no big deal. Everybody in. A little time consuming, like I said, but I did make a lot of tomatoes here, so we're gonna get them all on this. There's the last one. Okay, let me rinse my fingers real quick here. Alrighty, we're gonna take and, like I said, drizzle some of this oil over all of them. Still chunks of garlic there and everything. Don't want to waste this. This is good flavor here. Kind of big for that spot. So we'll switch up there. There we go. Now, this is a recipe that does not, go quick, really. Because you want to slow roast these at 300 degrees. And it's going to be in there about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, is what it's going to take to get these right to the state you want them. So, 300 degrees, I'm going to go right into the oven with them and let them roast off for about 2 hours. And here we go. I'm going to put these on the top shelf. Set my timer. There we go, 2 hours. We'll check back with you as soon as we get ready to pull them out. Alright, so we got about 10 minutes left, but I'm going to pull these because they look ready to me. Oh yeah, look at that. Those are perfect. Turn my oven off. Alright, I'm going to let these cool a little bit while I grab some cheese from the refrigerator. Got some fresh grated Parm and Romano mix here. And we're just going to top these with a little bit from a spoon. It don't matter which spoon I use, really. We're going to do a teaspoon each. How's that? That ought to be plenty. A little too much for the small ones, so you can just eyeball it, really. You don't need an exact measurement. Just however much cheese you feel like putting on there that it'll hold. You just want to dress each one of these with a little bit of cheese. You want to do this while they're still hot, so the cheese will melt on top. And the coldness from the cheese helps cool them off a little bit too, I'm sure. Thermodynamics and such. Put as much cheese as you feel you need to on them. And I'm just going to keep doing this, and then I'm going to let them cool off before I eat one, because I'm not foolish. I know they're going to be hot. So I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes when these are cooled off and I've got them all cheesed. So as you can see, some of these have melted in at this point by now. I'm going to go ahead and sample one on video because some people get mad at me if I don't do this. So here we go. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm having another one. That's real good. So, at this point, like I said, you can put it on top of like some garlic bread if you make some good garlic toast, or you can eat them straight up like I just did for a side dish, or you can cut them up and put them into tomato sauce if you wanted to. Endless possibilities of what you could do. Serve them with some bruschetta, some, the Italian version of bacon, prosciutto. Had a mind blank there. You could serve it with some prosciutto and some bruschetta, whatever you want to do. Possibilities are endless. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit like on my videos if you like it. If you try the recipe, leave a little bit of feedback. Tell me what you think of it. And check out my Facebook page, Thai Food. Also on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.